Hello, everyone. My name is Sophia Sin, and I am in Team 2. The role that I was assigned is the question/discussion director. So for this project, we're going to be talking about the three branches of rhetoric in Plato's Republic. To start off, I have set by 5 questions that I wanted to discuss to the audience, engage with y'all, and see how y'all are feeling about these topics and these questions. I'm going to ask every single one of these, keep that thought in your head, and then I'm going to go back and answer every single one from my point of view. And I would love to hear y'all's point of view as well. Everyone's opinions matter, depending on if you agree or disagree about Socrates and Plato, Aristotle, and the whole point of view of being a sophist. So let's start off. The first question that I put together is, what was the outcome of Socrates' different approach on being a sophist? What is a situation where we can see deliberative and epidemic rhetoric? How was Socrates providing free service controversial? What did Cicero establish that Aristotle, Socrates, and Plato did not? I hope y'all enjoy my cartoons that I put on. Why is it important for the educations of the guardians to uphold authoritarian? Maybe it's authoritarian. Sorry if I mispronounce it. All right, so let's get into it. Question 1. What was the outcome of Socrates' different approach on being a sophist? This can be seen in many multiple ways. I believe that he had a very distinct approach to philosophy. It set him to a very, very apart opinions from his peers. Even though it was controversial, he was admired by many. They appreciated his commitment to his education without a financial gain. In his past, the previous teachers, they all have charge. But after him, there wasn't really that much of a charge after, since he set the standard and the role. Plato, after him, have followed into the looking of being a sophist, of finding the truth, and not how it was taught before. People did question if his teachings were actually legitimate and actually focusing on the virtue and the ethics, because they're not used to this. They're thinking in their head, oh, like, what's going on? I'm not getting charged. It's free. His method is known and used for the Socratic method, and it is a form of cooperative argumentative dialogue, which stimulates critical thinking for everyone. And instead of providing an answer right to the question, he would ask questions. And this encouraged everyone to really think about their own beliefs and discover the reasoning behind every single one of their answers. It dug into more of a truth, which questioned a lot of people because they're forced to sit there and really think about their thoughts and self-examination. I hope y'all feel the same exact way, but if y'all don't, I would love to hear more. Now let's move on to the second question. What is a situation where we see deliberative and epidictic rhetoric? So this can be seen a lot in the presidential debates. It is mainly of the candidates persuading the audience to not vote for the other participant and praising themselves, making them seem like the hero that's gonna fight for the country, save the country, turn every single problem into a miracle. It's gonna be seen in the previous election and so forth. This is a way to persuade the audience to, support certain policies and actions and mainly just shape the future of the nation. But in the other way of epidictic, it's the leader employing whether epidictic rhetoric to celebrate the nation's achievement, histories, and values. They most likely will praise the courage and sacrifices of the past generations, while in the meantime highlighting the nation's progress as well that's going on and celebrating and emphasizing the cultural or patriotic values. This gets more into the emotional values of a person, of our unity and the pride, which really reaches out to the audience when it comes to a situation like the presidential debate and the votes election as well. Next question is going to be, how was Socrates providing free service controversial? It can be seen in many, many ways of controversial. This kind of aligns with the first question, as I discussed into his free service when I gave the answer in the first question, but I'm going to go a little bit deeper into the money-wise, unlike the first question where I really talked more about why his teaching was different. As for financial ways, it was just a challenge to the traditional beliefs that were held. He wasn't charging his services, and it was just against the social norms. He believed in genuine philosophical teaching, which allows to be selfless and truthful. He didn't want to commercialize his teaching, to make it seem like an ad, to make it seem like he was the best, and he just wanted to make his teaching widespread. He was challenging all the beliefs, and he engaged in every single conversation with people from every single background, including a politician, poets, and many more, which made people question the limitations and the inconsistency of all the concepts they have learned, such as justice and virtue. This was questioning a lot of things of the citizens who already have their established beliefs of the time because of the past sophists. This also played a big part in undermining the authority. This questioned a lot of the things and refusal to claim that all the answers challenge the authority of the established figures, including the past traditional teachers. While the other ones may have charged fees for their teaching, Socrates believed that not charging just provided more wisdom and more engaged to find the truth. And while he was doing this kind of just put the past office below him. It made them look like they were just undermined, and someone who is so big and tall and mighty is now being put down under because people are realizing, oh, I'm not being charged for what the past teacher has just told me. And now they're looking at the past guy like, oh, why would you do this? And just have a feeling. And this actually influenced the youth. He spent a lot of time with younger people, and he questioned a lot of things when it comes into critical thinking, which had a huge, significant impact on the youth. The youth would have questions on the societal norms and the beliefs, and this just made them question to the older generation of what's really going on. And Socrates believed that influencing the younger citizens was just a better way to be perceived as destabilizing. Destabilizing? Sorry if I can't pronounce that right. Destabilizing. I'm so sorry. And my next 2 points is going to be the allegations of impropriety and the lack of respect for the tradition. Mainly, I think the biggest thing is a lack of respect for tradition, as the outside point of view can see it. And this kind of ties up all together of him questioning and challenging rather than, going back and affirming traditional beliefs and customs. And others just seemed it more disrespectful that he was just going against everything that has been set in stone. So, next slide, question 4, that is going to be, what did Cicero establish that Aristotle, Socrates, and Plato did not? Let's see. Cicero was able to understand and break down rhetoric deeper than most. Plato, Socrates, and Aristotle were able to see the power of rhetoric, but they weren't able to categorize the different situations and types of rhetoric that someone can use. So, another way to get into that is they both had the same thinking, obviously, but Cicero gave more into a Roman thought. He thought more of the natural law and the universal morality, political philosophy, and statesmanship. For natural law and universal morality, Cicero had more of an idea of the development of natural law theory. He argued and challenged about the existence of the universal moral law, which goes into transcending human-made laws and why it's going on for that reason. This made a really big impact later on with the philosophers of like Christianity and the development of the natural law philosophy. For political philosophy and statesmanship, Plato and Aristotle had explored the political philosophy, while Cicero focused on the practical aspects of the statesmanship. He took it and emphasized it and really showed the importance of the moral virtues in a political leadership and just argued for the statesman's duty to uphold all this justice and for the common good. Although he didn't establish entirely a new philosophical system, as you would say, his emphasis on all this statesmanship and his contribution distinguished him a little bit far different from his peers or his coworkers, you would say, in this kind of term. He had a really lasting, big impact on the development of the philosophical and political thought of the time. And now, let's move on to the next slide. Question 5. Why is it important for the educations of the guardians to uphold authoritarian? Again, please excuse if I pronounce it wrong. I really hope you guys do like this cartoon. If you know where this meme is from, of the freedom, kudos to you. It's a great movie. Check it out. So let's answer this question. The education of the guardians to uphold authoritarians. There is a lot that goes into it, especially with how things were at that time to specify each citizen on how they must behave, controlling the information to which citizens really are exposed to their beliefs and opinions. Not only that, it sacrifices citizens' freedom in favor of preserving order. It then expresses any temptations in citizens to question or challenge authorities, keeping power in the hands of the rulers. So, that was a lot. I know that I just said all that, but I'm going to break it down just one by one. This had a lot to keep the citizens in order. It specifies for each citizen exactly how she or he must behave, how they behave in accordance within their role in a social hierarchy. Not fun. They're pretty much just telling you to be quiet, know your place, and that's it. Close your mouth, close your ears, close your eyes, and that's the order. This controls the information to which citizens are exposed, and when once exposed, they're having to shape their beliefs, their opinions, and their characters in which is favorable by the ruler. It sacrifices citizens' freedom in favor of preserving order. This not only by leaving it up to citizens to make choices for themselves, but what information to consume and what is good and bad. So they didn't have the option to make choices for themselves. It's terrible, I know. Not only that, it also suppresses any temptation in citizens to question or challenge authority. This is how the power is still kept. You can't question what is going on why it's going on, who is it going on to, when is it going on, the benefit, the positive, the negative, the pros and cons, why. You have so many questions running in your head, but you have to just sip it. This is how all these rulers have kept their power for so long, keeping power firmly in the hands of the ruler because of the education of the guardians. Now, that is the last of this PowerPoint. I really hope this opens up a different perspective to y'all about all these things going on and how rhetoric is formed, the sophists, the money, finding the truth, the virtues in everything. I think the best discussion and the best question that I can really go on for hours and hours would be talking about the last slide. The education of the guardians upholds everything, the rulers, what each citizen can or cannot do, how they behave, how the information, all the citizens being exposed, every little thing about preserving order. I can go on and debate and talk for hours and hours of just what the rulers are doing. I hope y'all can look at these questions and really ponder on about what topics are really good to discuss about and think deeper into what's going on in rhetoric about Plato, the Republic, all of that stuff going on. Do you think he should have done it for free? Do you think he should have charged? Do you think his idea of focusing more on the truth is better, or should he have stayed in the traditional mindset and just continue his teaching? Because he got teach the same exact way from his previous teacher, but he chose to go against that and do a complete 360. The original sophists wanted to defeat using verbal jousting, but Socrates looked for the truth. Do you believe in that? Do you not? So many questions. I would love to hear what y'all think about it. These are my discussion questions, and I really hope y'all do enjoy it, put some time and thought into it. Let me know what you're feeling. I would love to discuss this, and everybody has different opinions and intrigues me. I want someone to see if they agree with me or disagree with me and why. Let's get this discussion going. All right.